What's going on, kings, queens, and majesties? Welcome to Puff and Pass. I'm your host, TheKingFenrir, and today we're giving celebrities Pokemon teams. If you like the content, be sure to hit that like button. If you like us and Pokemon, be sure to hit that subscribe button. Alright, without any more delay, let's get into it. The first celebrity on our list is Tom Holland. If you don't know Tom Holland, you don't know Spider-Man. I mean, come on, Spider-Man? He's Spider-Man. What more is there? Oh, I guess he's a renowned actor. That's the point. Anyway, in real life, Tom Holland has a pit bull named Noon. He loves Noon very much. It's with this in mind that I'm giving him a snubble. I feel like he would just come home and love this little guy so much. The next Pokemon I'm gonna give him is related to the fact that when he was young, he liked to do ballet, he liked to dance, he was a performer. He's been a performer. Let's be honest, kids are mean, and Tom Holland unfortunately was bullied. But that didn't stop him though. He definitely went out there and tried to earn the respect of his peers. He eventually went on to perform in front of his class. That, however, didn't work out. He found out that he just needed to find comfort in being who he was as a person. It's with this in mind that I feel like a Gallade would be the Pokemon that he definitely grew up with. Moving on to the next Pokemon, Tom Holland has a little bit of a tendency to be a little bit of a loudmouth. And being one of the celebrities that actually ends up leaking information for the projects that he ends up working on, Tom Holland is just excitable, to be honest. I don't blame him. So it's with this in mind that I'm giving him a Loudron. On to the next Pokemon. I feel like it would be a miss to just not give this man something related to the role that he made his own, Spider-Man. I mean, come on. We have to give him something to reflect that, right? We're also gonna make it shiny. Why? Because Tom Holland appears to be humble. He definitely calls himself lucky for being able to play the role of Spider-Man. Albeit, he definitely put in the work. He does the acrobatics. He does all that he needs to do. He still considers himself lucky. It's with this in mind that I'm giving him a shiny Araquanid. It definitely speaks Spider-Man. The last Pokemon that I'm gonna give him is definitely related to the fact that he is an amazing acrobat, a stellar dancer, and also the fact that his favorite color is blue. It's a newer one, so you might not have recognized it, but I'm giving him a Quaquaval. Now I know there's only 5 Pokemon in this list, but that's where you guys come in. You guys can definitely go ahead and leave a comment, let me know what the 6th Pokemon for Tom Holland is gonna be. I'll be doing this with the majority of the celebrities, not all of them though. Moving on to the next celebrity, we got Jenna Ortega. If you don't know Jenna Ortega, she has done Wednesday, Scream, You, Stuck in the Middle, the list goes on. She's definitely becoming more of a household name nowadays. Now, Jenna Ortega is Mexican and Puerto Rican, my prima, and she does her best to advocate for her heritage and make sure she speaks proudly about where she came from. Respect. That being said, if there's any Pokemon that gives me a Caribbean and more specifically a Puerto Rican vibe, I gotta go with Corsola. Just a little sidebar, this Pokemon is exclusive to these regions in Pokemon Go, and my friend Sky ended up giving me his very own Corsola that he ended up catching on his vacation to Puerto Rico. It's named Coricua, and I love her very much. But I digress. Back to Jenna Ortega. Given the fact that she's in Scream and is in a couple of horror films actually, Ortega is considered a Scream queen. This Pokemon here it feels right at home considering that she already has a Corsola. It only makes sense to give her a Corsola. And you know what? Keeping with the little creepy theme here that we got for Ortega, I'm gonna go ahead and throw in one of these. I mean, come on. If anybody's gonna have a Gengar, it's gotta be her, right? Moving a little bit away from the creepy stuff though, Ortega also has a love for soccer. Surprisingly enough, she almost actually quit acting just to pursue a career in soccer. Pretty interesting to think about, and I have to give respect to that kind of dedication. With that in mind, we're gonna go ahead and give her one of these, a Cinderace. Now, for my last Pokemon for Jenna Ortega, I'm gonna go ahead and, you know what? Yeah, she's just gonna get an Esper. And you guys get to pick the last one. The next celebrity that we're gonna go ahead and give a team of Pokemon to is our boy, the man, the myth, the legend that we give shrines to at conventions, Danny Devito. Now, Danny Devito, he's from New Jersey, and as a New Yorker, I just have to state this as a real fact because it just is. New Jersey is trash. But Danny DeVito being as lovable as he is, I can't just dump on Jersey, so we're gonna give him a little cute trash mongrel. He's gonna get a Trubbish. The next Pokemon is gonna be reflecting the fact that Danny DeVito loves his sandwiches. In fact, he actually ate at the first ever Jersey Mike's, and he proceeded to be one of the first spokespeople for Jersey Mike's. Now, while I've never eaten there, I know Jersey Mike's is probably really bussin'. So, with that in mind, I'm gonna go ahead and give this man a Koraidon. You thought Danny Devito wasn't getting a legendary Pokemon? Yeah, you're bugged. The next Pokemon is going to be reflective of Danny DeVito himself. Considering the fact that he played the Penguin in one of the greatest Batman movies of all time, it only makes sense for us to give Danny DeVito an SQ. Keeping with the burb meme that we got from SQ, I feel like Danny DeVito would definitely have one of these Pokemon too. Considering that, when I look at Danny DeVito, he kind of gives me the vibe of Santa. I mean, he loves children and he's had a hand in creating a lot of formative movies that I've actually enjoyed as a child. That being said, Delibird feels like it'd be a Pokemon Danny DeVito would just have around at all times. Moving on to the next Pokemon. Danny DeVito has always had a calling for entertainment. When he was young, his first ever job was actually as an amusement park ride operator. It was for children, and he provided entertainment for them. Eventually, he would find himself taking a class on acting and realized he didn't want to do anything else with his life. It's with these things in mind that I feel like a Mime Jr. would be perfect for Danny DeVito. And that wraps up his team. The last Pokemon is up to you guys. Moving on to the next celebrity, you guys may or may not have heard of her, Taylor Swift. Wait a minute, I should have known better than to mention that on this channel that I share with. Wait, no!
I'm gonna chime in real quick and drop a team for one of the greatest artists of our generation, Taylor Swift. Collecting 12 Grammys and constantly dropping chart-topping albums, I'm also a Swiftie and it's my civic duty. Starting off her team is going to be a Wheezing, being a solid reference to Lavender Haze, one of the most popular songs on her newest album Midnight. Connecting to her track White Horse, Rapidash. While the track itself is notable, it began a trend in Taylor's albums where the 5th track were her most emotional and in-depth. Every album since White Horse continued this trend, so putting a White Horse on her team only made sense. Her third Pokemon would be Sir Viper, the poison-type snake Pokemon to reference her turnaround album Reputation, shedding her skin and showing the world a new and toxic side of her, making it a standout moment for her career. Bringing it back to her newest album, Midnight, the entire theme of this album is based around her dreams, so it only makes sense to include Marshana, a Pokemon known for eating Pokemon dreams. Her 5th Pokemon would be a Shiny Trevenant. I opted for the Shiny for this Pokemon due to the autumn leaves look. Her albums Folklore and Evermore have a heavy emphasis on nature and the feeling of being in the woods during the fall. Some tracks even sound haunting, making it her ghost and grass type Pokemon. And her final Pokemon would be Wobbuffet, preferably a female since it has the lipstick on its face. Since Wobbuffet is known to use counter, it will go hand in hand with the song Karma. You know, a move known for throwing damage right back where it came from. Because if you dare, you'll see the glare of everyone you burned just to get there. It's coming back around.
Thanks, Sky. Moving on from her, we got Harry Styles. If you don't know who Harry Styles is, do you live under a rock? I mean, come on. Sarcasm aside, he was once a member of One Direction, since then has definitely forged his own career path and has continued to make banger after banger, honestly. For the first Pokemon, Harry Styles, as you may or may not know, is from England. So, keeping this in mind, the first 2 Pokemon that I'm going to give him here are from the Galar region. The first Pokemon is a bird, but it's also fabulous, and I could very much see Harry Styles wielding one of these guys. That Pokemon being Galarian Articuno. Moving on to the next Pokemon, I did mention would also be from the Galar region, similarly to its fabulous look, and just considering the fact that I could see Harry Styles on one of these things, I'm gonna give him a Galarian Rapidash. Moving on to the next Pokemon. To give you context for this Pokemon, Harry Styles just kind of has an energy about him that reflects what this Pokemon does. This Pokemon is said to bring blessings and luck wherever it may go, and Harry Styles has a tendency to lend a hand or just generally exist and spread positivity throughout the world. Even though so many people kind of hold him on a pedestal and see him as an idol, he still finds time to just be a decent human being. It's with that in mind that I'm giving him a Togekiss. While Harry Styles doesn't have any pets to definitely solidify this, he does seem to have a soft spot for dogs. He for sure has grown up with them. And throughout all of the pictures on the internet of him, you can see a majority of them are him posing with people's pets, mostly dogs. And with that in mind, we're gonna give Harry Styles a Furfrou. It feels just right. A dog Pokemon that can keep up with this sense of style, I mean, it's perfect. This next Pokemon may be a little underwhelming. I have my reasons for giving him this one. Harry doesn't seem like the kind of guy who holds himself above other people like that. he may be a bit humble of a person. Take this with a grain of salt because I personally don't know him. That being said, the Pokemon I'm thinking of giving him here is a Pidgeot. I'm sure we're all familiar with Pidgey, one of the first ever Pokemon that a majority of people run into when they play Gen 1. Pidgey, at least to me, feels like a good reflection on beginning. Taking a Pidgey to a Pidgeot, it's not really too difficult to do, but I could just imagine Harry appreciating and cherishing the beauty that Pidgeot has. I mean, look at Pidgeot, and look at Mega Pidgeot. I definitely feel like he would see something that not a lot of people do in this Pokemon. For his last Mon, that's up to you guys. And that wraps up his team. I'm pretty sure that's all the time that I have left for you guys. If you guys liked the video, please be sure to leave a like, leave a comment, let me know any teams that you would have done differently, any Pokemon that you would have chose differently. Fill in the blanks and let me know what Pokemon you would add to these celebrity teams. And if you'd like a part 2, please be sure to let me know. I got plenty of ideas. I mean, look at Ice Spice. But that's for another video. Alright, Kings, Queens, and Majesties, be kind to yourself, and I'll see you in the next one.